Am I the a-hole for telling my father to do it like the past 22 years and forget he has another daughter? I, 22 female, have met my father once in my life. That was at my grandmother's funeral, whom I had only met about 5 times before she died when I was 9. I loved her though, and she loved me. We only got in contact when she was basically on her deathbed. My father, 54, left my mom, 44, when she was 6 months pregnant to get back together with his ex. Yet my mom never talked badly about him. She always encouraged me to keep a picture of him because I should know what he looks like. She mostly told me good things about him, like what a great singer he is. She didn't sugarcoat things either though. When I was a kid, I hoped he'd come around someday. I always wanted a normal family, a dad who would care at least a little. He never even tried. No cards, no letters, nothing. He even tried to weasel out of child support. And no, I wasn't an oops baby. He was the one who wanted a kid. When I was about 13, I gave up and started to hate him. That changed again when I was 19 or 20. By now, I don't really care anymore. Mostly. I have a younger half-sister who, according to my grandparents, didn't know about me. I contacted her and told her she deserved to know, and that I'd respect any choice she made going forward. She was rude about it, and somehow mad that I went to our grandmother's funeral. I quote, like, "What did you want there?" She said she didn't want anything to do with me. I told her I'd respect that, and wished her a nice evening. I'd never be mad about it. She has every right to feel the way she feels. I thought that was that. Then my father contacted me for the first time ever. He told me to keep my sister out of this, and that if I wanted something, I should talk to him. He said he loves me and hates himself for not being there for me. That kind of pissed me off, I guess. 22 years of no contact, and then he reaches out only because I contacted my sister? I wrote him a long message. Not too personal, just facts. I told him he's a decade too late, that I didn't want anything from my sister, and just wanted to know her and so on. I ended it with, "Do it like you've done for the past 22 years. Forget you have another daughter. Have a nice evening." I didn't think it was too bad, but when I talked to some family members about it, they said that was really rude and cruel, because he might have been honest about hating himself or whatever. I won't apologize either way, but still, am I the a-hole? Now for the comments. Yep, he's cruel. He's selfish. Your half-sister is also those things. Write them out of your life and move forward. Keep your grandmother in your heart and be happy. Don't judge the half-sister too harshly. If she didn't know about OP, this probably blew up her whole world and what she thought of her dad. Yup, dear old dad kept his abandoned daughter under wraps from his new family as much as possible. People tend to think less of you when they find out you abandoned a child. Maybe half-sis wonders now if he'd abandon her too. It's your life, your terms, not the a-hole. Honestly, yeah, this hits. I went through something similar with an absent parent, and the moment they finally reached out, it was about their feelings, not the years of silence. Protecting your peace isn't cruel. You gave him more honesty than he ever gave you. Not the a-hole. Even if he is sorry or hates himself, which I doubt by the way, he only contacted you to protect his other daughter. He didn't make any effort to contact you before. Tell your family that unless they are in your shoes, they have no idea how you feel. Your mom sounds like a saint, by the way. My ex got a new family, and they became the priority over our son. I wish I handled that with as much class as your mom did. In my opinion, you did nothing wrong. Next story. Am I the a-hole for breaking up my dad's relationship? My dad's girlfriend told me and my sister that our pajama shorts are inappropriate and that we can't walk around the house without bras because it's weird and disrespectful to the man of the house. For context, my dad, 47, has been dating this 28-year-old girl for 6 months at the time and finally started bringing her to the house. Let's call her Ashley. He wanted my sister, 16, and me, 23 female, to bond with Ashley. So we all went to an escape room together. Things went great, so he slowly started letting her come to the house more often. Keep in mind, this happened over the course of 3 more months. Things were fine at first, but then she made a comment about how I should serve my dad because he's had a long day and it's the polite thing to do. My mother was very traditional and Hispanic, so manners were very much ingrained in me. If my dad is busy with work or occupied, I'm thoughtful enough to serve him and help out. I was raised to be considerate of family. But it's not my job to serve him if he doesn't want to come to the table after being called. I told her he can serve himself, brushing the comment off. This was the first of many. The second red flag was when she slept over for the first time. She got too drunk to drive home, and it was late, so my dad let her stay. The next morning, as I came out of my room to do my laundry, she was in the kitchen. She started a conversation and shifted it to the laundry, saying, "You're doing just your laundry? What about everyone else's?" I explained that I do my own laundry, and my sister and dad do theirs together. Then she said, "So he folds the clothes? Your sister should learn to take more responsibility. It's not good to be selfish." I bit my tongue and went to my dad. He said he talked to Ashley, but it clearly did nothing because it started to feel like I was competing with her. Everything had a snarky comment. She even told my dad she was surprised I still live with him. Most kids would have moved out by now. My dad informed her that it's both a cultural and religious thing for us. Kids aren't expected to move out until marriage, and even then, he would rather me be home than doing who knows what. Everything went downhill after she told me I shouldn't be calling my dad Poppy at my age because it was weird and had a sexual connotation. I started arguing with her, and my sister explained that it's a cultural thing. We let it go. Fast forward 2 weeks. My dad and Ashley went on a date and came back in the evening to my sister and me dressed comfortably. That clearly bothered her because she told me to put on a bra because my tits were showing. At that point, I was cursing her out. Then she called our baggy shirts and shorts revealing and attention-seeking, and said we should be ashamed to dress that way around my dad, especially while living with him. We got into an altercation. My sister and dad pulled me off her. I gave my dad an ultimatum, me or her, or I'd remind him of my mom for the rest of his life. Our mom passed away 4 years ago. The night ended with him dropping her off. It's been a few days, and things feel awkward. My sister told me I shouldn't have hit her or brought up our mom. I did apologize for mentioning mom, but my dad is acting like nothing is wrong. He's dropping off her things today, but now the vibes feel off. I tried having another conversation today, but he told me it's all right, which made me feel bad. The reason I'm asking is because my dad isn't really talking to me. He's responding with one-word answers for the past few days, and my sister says to just wait it out until he's over it. Am I the a-hole? Wait, you resorted to violence over some stupid bint your dad was banging? You're lucky as heck she didn't press charges. You know, you could have just ignored her, right? Everyone sucks here. She was sexualizing me and implying we had incestuous intentions. I shouldn't have been the one to step in to defend my sister or myself. It should have been my dad. I love him to death, but if he wasn't going to defend us, then I will. I'm all for him finding love again, but it won't be with some random woman who thinks she's entitled to impose her disgusting opinions on us. Her comments about you living there made it clear she was envisioning moving in with your dad and having the place to herself. She was trying to drive you out, assuming your dad would side with her. Everyone in the house needed that, even if it wasn't initially a good reaction. It needed to happen. She was extremely emotionally abusive and immature, and sometimes older people find that endearing. That might have been why he was easy on her, but you're his kids, and you deserve love and protection. He's raising you well. Honestly, the breakup is for the best. If she's already acting like that as your dad's girlfriend, it would be nightmare for all if she becomes your stepmom. Your family will never know peace with you girls fighting, and your dad will try to please both sides, but eventually he'll be forced to choose. The hurt and damage will be much bigger. Better it ended early without a more serious commitment like marriage. Next story. Am I the a-hole for offering to forgive my parents' debt? Throw away just in case. My parents stole the money my grandma left me for my education. She had set aside funds specifically for me, and everyone in the family knew about it. Instead of keeping it safe for when I would need it, my parents used it for family needs. That's how they justified it. I was young at the time and didn't fully understand what had happened. I trusted them. When I got accepted to university, they co-signed my student loans. I thought that meant they were supporting me. When I graduated, they were supposed to help make the payments, since that had been part of the plan. Instead, they told me they couldn't afford it. The responsibility fell entirely on me. I was just starting my career and already drowning in debt that shouldn't have existed in the first place. At a family reunion a few years later, I found out something that changed everything. I discovered I was the only cousin who didn't receive money from my grandma. Confused, I asked my aunt and uncles about it. Every single one of them said the same thing. I did receive money. That's when I realized the truth. My parents hadn't just borrowed it, they had taken it. I ended up hiring a lawyer and suing my own parents to recover what was left of my inheritance. It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made. After I got a judgment against them, they did everything they could to avoid paying me. They delayed, dodged, and tried to make the debt unenforceable. It was exhausting and humiliating to have to fight my own parents in court. It's been 15 years since I graduated. I worked hard, paid off my loans, and built a stable life for myself. I'm doing okay now. My parents, however, are not. They're buried in debt and struggling financially. Recently, they came to me asking for money. I said no. They begged. After thinking about it, I told them I would help, but not in the way they expected. I had my lawyer send them a formal letter canceling the debt they owed me. That's about $40,000 wiped clean, effectively money back in their pocket. Instead of being grateful, they were upset. They didn't want the debt forgiven. They wanted fresh cash. I think they can deal with the consequences of their own choices. Were they desperate for the money to live? Yes. Let me get this straight. They stole all of the inheritance money for college. They didn't pay for the parental side of the student loans. There was a court case, and they were ordered to pay you $40,000. Being way nicer than I would ever be, you decide to cancel that specific debt. And they have the audacity to get pissed about the cancellation of debt and demand actual money from you? I agree, they can totally go screw themselves. Not the a-hole. Well, since he legally put them into a $40,000 debt and then legally forgave it, the system technically sees that as $40,000 of taxable income earned by the parents. The taxman will indeed want a share of that sudden windfall gifted to his parents, and he isn't as nice as OP. The tax on their net gain is less than the $40,000 debt originally on their books, so they're technically ahead. Only the IRS may be more likely to insist on collection than OP was. Still, that's on the parents. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my father's child with his girlfriend? I'm 27 female currently hiding from our dad. Please excuse the typos. I am crying while typing. Background. My parents have been separated for almost 11 years. They're not divorced because our country doesn't allow it. It was messy, and we got our fair share of trauma from it, LOL, which made explaining things easier. Mom had to leave to look for a job. She explained that she couldn't provide the life our father could give us at that time. Both parents raised us to honor thy father and mother, a biblical commandment, and to still respect them. Being left with our dad and constantly hearing his side of the story made us resent our mom for about a year. As an adult, I repaired my relationship with Mom. I deeply regret the hurtful things I said to her. Mom eventually found a supportive partner who treated us like his own. Meanwhile, Dad's list of exes has always been problematic. We're always expected to cater to them, drive them around, and impress their families. His girlfriend of 5+ years now is Pan. She has a family he constantly compares us to. Their generosity, their Christmas traditions, and how close-knit they are. Ignoring that we had holiday traditions too before the split. My eldest sister, who basically raised us, advised us to ignore it since we had to survive at a young age. Last year, Pan gave birth. My brother pressured our dad to come clean, but he was scared that I'd get hysterical and tell our mom. Crazy, because it was my brother who blackmailed and threatened him that he would tell our mom after a misunderstanding. When he confessed, I hugged him while he cried, telling him that if he was confident in how they raised us, he didn't have to worry or be scared of me hating him. I later told him I could have acted toward him the way I did toward our mom, but I already learned my lesson. My brother said I shouldn't feel bad toward our dad, since they're both adults who knew what they were doing. In December 2025, he asked me if I could take care of the baby. Pan's whole family teased me. I just laughed. My brother-in-law advised me not to get entangled with the new family, regardless of any offered trips or money, warning that it would sour my relationship with my mom again. Relatives I've spoken to agreed, asking if I have any pride left. It's already a secret, but accepting the request feels like a total betrayal of my mother, considering the accusations thrown at her in the past. Dad claims that by keeping his secret and obeying him, I am honoring him. It feels wrong. Tonight, he insisted I cancel my plans and go back home. When I told him I was uncomfortable, he immediately scolded me. He said now wasn't the time for me to be jealous and that they'd planned it weeks ago. He said that, as a family, we should make sacrifices and set aside our feelings. That's when I broke down. My older sister intervened and took the phone. She told me I shouldn't stress over it and to let the woman worry about her own children. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Someone pointed out that I should have included this important detail, which I failed to do earlier because I was overwhelmed with emotions. The reason he wants me to babysit their baby and Pan's daughter is because they will be going on an Asia cruise tour. No kids, just their family. And they included my dad, because he joked that they know he won't allow Pan to go on out-of-town trips without him. Info. What do you mean by taking care of the baby? Being a live-in nanny? Babysitting on weekends and getting paid for it? I would encourage you to tell him he has 48 hours to talk to your mother about the situation before you tell her. Then follow through. Stay as far from this situation as you can. It sounds very, very toxic. Loving someone, even a parent, doesn't mean letting them walk all over you. 1. My parents may be separated, but my mom has always disliked my dad's partners, as they tend to be only after his money and how they tend to treat us. 2. Pan's family are going to an Asia cruise tour, maybe 2 weeks at most. No kids. Pan's family is aware that my father doesn't like Pan going on trips without him, so he will be going with them. They're all asking me to watch over Pan's daughter and her baby with our dad while they're away. 3. My parents have stopped talking to each other when they split, so information from their respective partners often come from third parties, or sometimes from my dad's side of the family. Respectfully, why is it your problem? They knew they booked a trip and that no kids were allowed to go. It sounds like he waited until the last minute to find someone to watch the kids and wants to make you do it. Respect is earned, not given, and if your father respected you, he would have asked you before making plans. He would respect your answer of no. He wouldn't put you in a position where you feel uncomfortable. What he is doing is making demands and trying to guilt-trip you. Don't let him. Since I am the youngest and I have experience taking care of my niece and nephew, we also grew up in a military household and in a culture where saying no is seen disrespectful and shameful.